yeah, you guys will start seeing a lot of me. It's very nice to meet you guys. I'll be working with Jing here, hopefully a lot, right? And hopefully getting out to Nevada sooner than later. And when that time does come, you guys will know. You guys are actually the first team I've met with since I just started. So that's a pretty cool. That means that you guys are a little bit special so far. I have not met Don yet. Him and I believe, will start to probably meet next week. So, Rick wanted to kind of do a little bit of an introduction with the CEO level types, but so you guys are the first people to get a hold of me via the other Jesse Feldhaus, who was your guys' like virtual wholesaler. He actually got promoted to another territory, so he's going to be leaving as well. So a little bit of a transition, guys, but it's not to worry. I'll be honest with you. It should benefit you guys, right? Like, you'll be able to reach out to me for anything, guys, all of you on this call. Okay. Go through your uplines, go through your hierarchy, right? So you guys have your leader here, which is amazing, but I'm going to share my email with you guys. I'm going to share my phone number with you guys. Like, you guys can reach out to me, and, it'll look different, where you might be a little bit surprised that I'm going to respond, right? Because, we get busy as wholesalers, but you guys will be pretty surprised at how quickly I respond to you, right? Because that's just kind of what I'm known for. So I'm going to put my email in the chat box for you all, okay? I'm going to put my phone number in the chat box. This phone number is going to change, guys, okay? But for now, that is my phone number. You can call me at it. I prefer email, okay? I'll be honest with you, because I'm usually in trainings. I prefer email, all right? What I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually can everyone see, or did everyone see the link, or sorry, the Zoom chat? Everyone sees it? Yes. Right? Please write that email down. Guys, you can reach out to me for anything, right? It doesn't always need to be about a case. You can reach out to me if you're having issues with the policy, okay? I'm not going to be always the person that actually does the work, right? You might think it's me, but it's not always me, guys, right? I have a team of people with me that are going to help me. But reach out to me for anything, guys. Don't hesitate to reach out, right? I like to tell people that if you've reached out to me too late, right, it's too late, okay? If something's going on, right, early on, reach out to me. Don't wait till it's too late, because by then, guess what? It's too late, right? Or it's too late for you, right? Once you feel the point, guys, because I've been an agent before, once you get to that point of like you're almost frustrated, you're like, I don't know who to go to or what to do. That's when you need to think, I need to reach out to Jesse, okay? Right before you reach that point of, I don't know what to do or who to go to, any of you, I don't care what level you are. If you're a CEO, if you're an EMD, guys, okay, I don't care. I've worked with WFG now for 5 or 6 years, and I'm still helping EMDs and SMDs and CEOs and whatever rank you want to get up to, all the way to Harshminder Dhaliwal, Raja, all the way to, whatever leader you can think of. They still reach out to me for things that I would have thought they have known, when they first got started. So it doesn't matter. That's all I'm trying to get across. You guys can reach out to me, okay? Cool. We're going to train today on foreign nationals, right? That's the agenda today. We're going to train on foreign national training, okay? The first thing I want to point out to you guys, though, is everyone here should be registered with Agent Home, yeah? So this website, cool. A few admin things as well. I don't know if you guys have seen the notifications going around, but Transamerica now allows electronic signatures on all pending and enforced requirements, which is a big win for us, right? That's huge. You guys can now have documents signed electronically, okay? Pending business or enforced business, okay? So that is awesome, all right? Any questions so far? Any questions, guys? Feel free to jump in, take yourself off mute, ask any questions.
Jesse, you said your territory, does it include California?
No, it doesn't include California. So, no. I just live here currently, but I'll be moving.
So who's assigned for California?
Who is assigned for California? So it depends, actually. California has 3, right? So Northern California, where Jocelyn is? Yeah. Where Jocelyn is going to be Michael, Sasaki, and River Addison. I can actually pull this up. Or you want me to do something for you? Why don't I... If you go to Agent Central, guys, I love Agent Central. You'll see me use Agent Central a lot. There's a zone map. Okay. This is about to change. But currently, Michael Sasaki is the RVP for the Northern California.
Okay.
If you want to take a picture of that right there. Jing, do you go by Jing or is it Ginge?
It's Ging.
Ging. All right, there we go. Ging. All right. So, Ging, take a picture of this because here's those three guys. Here's Northern, here's Central, and here's Southern. All right. And all of you guys can feel free to take a picture of anything that I'm going to show you today.
Okay. I'm just going to, I have that in Agent Center.
All right, awesome. And you guys will see this change. We're hiring people. Guys, Transamerica is going through what we're calling Transamerica 2.0. We're almost done with it. By the end of the year, we should be a whole new company, which is awesome. And you want to know why we did it? We did it because of WFG. We had to. We're never going to be able to catch up to you guys. I'll just be honest. Okay, we won't. WFG is the fastest, one of the most successful marketing organizations in the world. Okay, I've never seen anything like it. I've worked with WFG now for 4 years before I was independent, but there's nothing like WFG, guys. And I don't care what anyone says, it's the best. Okay, and I'm not just saying that, right? WFG is easily the best marketing organization there is out there for life insurance agents and financial advisors. Okay, but at the same time, you met Michael Sasaki, Joy. Awesome. At Riverside. Yeah. Michael, you probably met River. He's a big, big, tall guy. He's got dreads. River and I are actually good college friends. Oh. We started in this industry together. He's a very smart individual. But, yeah, you probably met them. But anyway, guys, Transamerica is going through this new transition phase. And to be honest with you, a lot of it has to do with WFG, right? So it's all for you guys, and it's for the best. It's only going to get better. I'll be honest. It's only going to get better. And right now we're kind of in a fun, guys, the fact that we now have, I know it sounds crazy, but we can sign stuff electronically, and 6 years ago when I started at Transamerica, 4 years ago with WFG, that wasn't even a thought. That's crazy, right? Like now we're finally here. Better late than never, right? So what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm going to go to Agent Central, and I actually want to show you guys one thing. I'm going to do this pretty nonchalantly because to me, foreign national trading is so easy, okay? So easy. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the products tab, and I'm going to go to a foreign national space. I'm going to scroll down here, and guess what, guys? Gang, there's actually a presentation that you guys can download to your computer just by clicking that button. Nice. And you guys can use this. And the slides are very easy, and they kind of walk you through stuff, right? But there's also a webinar that you can always go and watch as well. I'm going to go through it with you guys. But here's all the flyers, the guidelines, right? We've got our high net worth foreign national flyers, our estate guide for foreign nationals. All right. We even got translated Spanish, Chinese, Korean, Vietnamese resources. Nice. If you're not using Agent Central, guys, I'll be honest, you're doing yourself a disservice. There's so much stuff on here. I use it every day. If I'm using it every day, so should you, right? Use Agent Central. It's awesome. So I'm actually going to go to that foreign nationals presentation here, guys. All right. And we'll walk through it. All right. I want this to be educational. I want it to be like conversational too, right? This is a small enough class to where if you have something, if I say something and you want more clarification, guys, just stop me. Just stop me. Say, hey, Desi, can we go over that again? But should be very easy. All right. Very easy to go through. All right. Can everyone see my screen here? Good. Yes. Cool. And this is the one we're going to go through today, guys, is the one that you can download on your computer. Use it. All right. Here's the why we're in this space. It's very simple. Very simple. There are a lot of non-immigrants who enter the United States each year, right? Mm-hmm. It's bottom line. A lot of times when they come here and they become, what we call a non-resident foreign national or a resident foreign national, if people move here and they're not born here, we call them a resident foreign national. Does that make sense? So there are two types of foreign nationals, and we'll talk about that today. The ones we're going to talk about a lot of are resident. So they live here, right? They live here now. A lot of them come to this country and they might think that they can't get insurance, guys. That's not the case. In fact, you're going to find out today that in a lot more scenarios than you might think, Transamerica can actually insure or attempt to insure these people. All right? A lot of the major foreign buyer countries, China, Canada, Brazil, India, and Mexico, right? Those are probably our biggest foreign national spaces. Okay? You know, this slide here is kind of just talking about for our high net worth foreign nationals, right? We call those our non-resident high net worth. They're usually your B1 or B2 visa holders. They might be unaware of their potential tax exposure, right? So if they're doing business here or if they own property here, okay, they might have a different estate taxes than they do in their home country because they are what we call a non-resident high net worth. So those are your B1, B2 visa holders. We'll talk about them here shortly. All right, this slide's kind of cheesy, guys, but the only source of knowledge is experience, right? But it's true, okay? The only way you're going to get good at the foreign national space, guys, is by talking to foreign nationals. It's that easy. The only way you're going to get good in this industry, right, is by talking to people about insurance, talking to people about what you do, right? That simple. Just talk to people, right? It's like, ask yourself, what are the conversations you're having every day? Like, I know the conversations I'm having, right? Even with my family and friends, like, what are the conversations you're having? Are you the person that's always talking about, you know, the news or the bad things that are happening? Or are you like the person that's always talking about, you know, the bright side of things? Or are you the person that likes to talk about your work because you love your work so much? Or are you the person that talks about sports all the time? What are your conversations? Okay? Transamerica's been in the insurance industry for over 100 years, guys, right? Like, we're actually we're about at 95 years of being a company because Bank of America, guys, started Transamerica. Bank of America in the 1930s, early 1930s, bought this company called Occidental, which turned into Transamerica. I don't know if you guys knew that Bank of America had actually started Transamerica, right? Bank of America and Transamerica have the same exact founder, A.P. Giannini, right? So we've been in business for a long time, guys, and that's something that you should use to your advantage. Transamerica has been around for a long time, so what does that say? We're probably not going anywhere, guys. Okay, Aegon also owns us now. Aegon is one of the largest, right, global financial services businesses in the world, top 10 in the world. Okay, been in business for a while, guys, and right now we're in, like I said, Transamerica 2.0. We're changing, right? We're getting new employees. We're bringing them back in home. Employees that, you know, when you call in, you're not going to be so confused, right? Your client's not going to get bounced around anymore, guys. Like, we're trying to clean that up, right? You guys don't need to worry about that because you have me now. But, you know, for those of you on the call who've experienced that before, guys, we're trying to clean house right now. This international underwriting team was established in 1998. Okay, so we've been doing it for a minute. All right, there's a lot of documents that I showed you guys. That's what this slide's talking about. There's a lot of resources online. Okay, but let's talk about ITIN clients. Okay, and what's new with them. We're going to talk about C and D countries today. We're going to talk about E countries. Okay, so if your client falls in an E country that we're going to talk about, they can get insurance if they've lived in the country for 5 or more years, up to $2 million. All right. Underwriting is the same for your foreign national clients as it is for your resident clients, right? The underwriting's not harder, right? There might be a few more steps they have to take. C14 employment authorization card category codes, C14 and C08 are eligible under the ITIN guidelines, which we're going to talk about. All right, guys. That's kind of a lot of information. That was kind of like a fire hose at you, but now we're going to break it down. All right. The first set of foreign nationals we're going to talk about are what we call resident foreign nationals. Okay. Resident. So resident foreign nationals are people that work here. They are here for school or humanitarian visas. They usually hold a visa. Okay. A work visa. A work visa is an H visa. You have student visas, which is the F1 visa. And then you've got your humanitarian visas. But there are many other visas, guys, that you can apply for insurance with. But then you also have people who don't have a visa or a green card. Green card's another one, green card, visa. You have people who are here and they have what we call a work authorization card. Has anyone ever worked with someone with a work authorization card? So it might be called an employment authorization card or an EAD, an employment authorization document. So meaning they live here and they have a work authorization card, which means that they might be able to apply for insurance. And then you've got your I-10 clients, guys, people who have an individual tax ID number. Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk about the resident first. Okay? They have to hold some sort of visa that allows them to reside and work here or go to school. Okay. You've got your green card holders. There are many visa types outside of just work and school, though, that someone can apply. And again, the underwriting process is the same. Guys, check this out. Feel free to take a picture of this, but I'm going to show you where to go on the underwriting guide so that if you have a client who says, yep, I have a visa, you simply just ask them what type of visa it is, and that will tell us, based on the chart, whether they can get insurance or not. It's that easy. Okay? Before we do that, though, I'm going to pull something up here, guys. And I want everyone to take a picture of this if you can. I'll put it in the chat box as well. This is kind of something that we've created here that really helps me when I'm talking to someone who I know was not born in America. That's it. Someone I know who was not born in America. So what we call a resident foreign national. All right. If you follow these 3 questions, okay, you'll be able to pretty much nail down whether or not they can get insurance. And then today I'm going to show you where to go to find out if they can get insurance. And it's that easy. Okay. So when you're meeting with someone who is a resident foreign national, someone who lives here in America, but you know they weren't born here. Okay. The first thing I want you to do is ask them, are you a U.S. citizen or a green card holder? That easy. Because you can be a U.S. citizen and have a social, but you weren't born here. Great. If they have that, apply. Mm-hmm. That's simple. But what if they say no? They're like, oh, I have a green card. Awesome. You can apply. If someone has a green card, they can apply up to the best class of rating, all the way to preferred elite for your IUL and preferred plus for your term, which is the best for term. They can apply for IUL, term, whole life, living benefits, LTC. I'll show you guys that here in a second. But guys, if they say, yes, I'm a citizen, apply. If they say, yes, I have a green card, awesome, apply. But if they say no, I want you to jump to question number 2. Okay. If you're not a citizen and you don't have a green card, do you have a visa? If they say yes, awesome. What type of visa do you have? Okay. If they say no to visa, say, do you have an employment authorization card? Mm-hmm. If they say yes, I have an employment authorization card, or what they call a work authorization card, you'll hear clients just say, yeah, I have a work authorization card. Say, okay, what is the code on that employment authorization card or work authorization card? Based on that code, we will be able to tell if they can get insurance or not. And guys, you'll see when I show you the charts what I'm talking about. Okay? If they have a visa or an employment authorization card, I also want you to ask them another question. What country are they from? And you know what? Let's throw something else in here too. What country are they from? And how long have you lived here? All right. So if they say, yep, I have a visa, great. What type of visa? What country are you from? How long have you lived here? With that information, I can check the underwriting guide to see if you can apply for insurance. If they say, I have an employee authorization card, great. What's the category code on that employee authorization card? What's the code? Right? What is the code? Where are you from? What country? And how long have you lived here? Now, what if they say no to all of those? Okay, then you go to question number 3. If they're not a citizen, if they don't have a green card, if they don't have a visa or an employment authorization card, you simply ask them, do you have a tax ID number or an ITIN number? Right? Have you been paying taxes? A lot of times you're going to find out that these people, they don't even know they have a work authorization card, but they'll say, oh, I have a tax ID. Okay? An individual tax identification number. Awesome. Then I want you to ask them the same questions. What country are you from and how long have you lived here? Okay? I'm going to get rid. Yeah, you can say, have you lived here for 3 or more years? I like 5 or more years, I'll be honest, because 5, I know that they're pretty much good to go. Mm-hmm. And have you filed 2 tax returns? Okay? So here's the question. And I'm going to guide you guys on these questions. All right? Before I do that, let's go back to these slides. All right. Don't really care about that. We'll get to that in a second. So look at visas. All right? Now, remember that first question here, guys. All right? Are they a citizen? Awesome. Go ahead and apply. If they're a green card holder, awesome. Go ahead and apply. What I'm going to do here for you guys, I'm going to go to the underwriting guide. Okay? And guys, also too, keep in mind, like, if you are new to the foreign national space, if you haven't worked with someone who's not from here, and the first time you do it, you need to reach out to me and you say, hey, Jesse, I got someone and they have a visa and this is their visa. Can they apply? That's fine. Just reach out. Call the sales desk, right? Ask them. It's okay, right? You're not going to remember everything I've said today, okay? But if you go to the underwriting guide, guys, so products underwriting, and scroll down, and you go to IUL and term, I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, guys, because it's usually the last few pages. Here we go. Notice page 33 gives us every visa type. So remember the first question. Are they a client or green card holder? If they say yes, go ahead and apply. Up to the best class, go ahead and apply for living benefits or long-term care if you choose to. But what if they say no? What's number 2? All right, gang, do you have a visa? She says yes. Awesome, gang. What type of visa do you have? Guys, she can name any visa she wants. All I have to do is then go to the underwriting guide. If she says, hey, yes, Jesse, I have a student visa. Awesome. Looks like student visa, the documentation required is going to be your visa and the I-20 from your college. You can apply up to the best class. You can also apply for long-term care and living benefits. And if you had a juvenile, you can even get a juvenile policy. See that? That's simple. But what if gang said, hey, Jesse, I have an I visa. I'm here on a media visa. Well, unfortunately, being a media visa, it doesn't hold much weight here. It's a decline. Okay? What if she says, I have a work visa? Mm-hmm. Awesome. All we need is a copy of the visa when you apply. You can get up to best class, and you can pretty much get everything.
Okay.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
So you can just ask them, awesome, what type of visa is it?
Yeah, most of the people that we know is H1.
Exactly. H1. And the numbers, guys, you'll hear them. They'll say H2, as long as we know it's an H,
yeah, you're
fine. In most scenarios, at least. Okay, in most scenarios. But pretty simple, right? Here's another one we get a lot of. TPS, temporary protection status. That one's like newer. Notice that, even religious visas can do it. There's a lot of visas, as you guys can see, that people can get insurance, right? Mm-hmm. I like to tell people, hey, don't push away foreign nationals ever. Like, you should, unless you fully know their situation, don't say no. All right? Don't be like, oh, I don't know if we can do that. Ask them. There might be a chance. Probably a lot better chance than you think. Notice that GC is a green card, right? Green card is a type of visa technically. And you, like I said, if you have a green card, they can apply. All right? All right. Now, let's move on. So I just showed you visa. So that was the visa. But what if they say, no, Jesse, I have an employment authorization card? Okay, great. What's the code on your employment authorization card? That's your question. You have to ask them, what's the code on there? Because if you tell me the code, gang, I can then go look and see if you can apply. Watch this. On the underwriting guide, starting on page 31, here are all the employment authorization category card codes. All right. Probably the most popular category code is C8, C08. But notice here, up to best class is C9, long-term care, living benefits, right? Notice that there are some codes that tell you based on country of origin. You guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
Rather than it saying up to best class, it says based on country of origin. Forgive me 1 second real quick, King. Okay. Is everyone good so far? Any questions so far before we jump into EAC, employee authorization cards? Pretty simple, right? Those questions, if you just go by those questions, then you go to the underwriting guide, you're basically just asking, hey, how are you here and why? Or why are you here and how? Well, I'm here for work. Okay, great. How are you here? Do you have a work visa? Do you have an employee authorization card, right? That's really all you're asking, okay? But if you ask in those specific routes, those questions that I showed you guys, makes it pretty easy, sure, right?
I have a question. You mentioned
Yeah, go ahead.
You mentioned about how many years they lived here.
Good. Very good.
Is that the?
I'm going to show you why I asked that right here. You jumped ahead a little bit, King, but very good. I'm glad you. That means you're listening, my friend. So thank you. And that also means that I didn't say something wild. Okay, good. All right, check it out. So based on country of origin, King, let's say this person says, Jesse, I have an employee authorization card, and my code is C4. Okay, great. So your code is C4, which means your card is spouse dependent of G1, G3, or G4, right? It's going to be based on country of origin. Okay, but depending on the country of origin, you can apply for long-term care and living benefits and juvenile policy. Okay. Now, here's what you got to do, gang. Now I have to go to another chart. Okay? Let me show you that chart. I'm going to go back to the underwriting guide. And again, guys, like I said, like the first few times you do this, it's going to be a little bit, you're like, okay, I need to go here, I need to go here. Totally fine, right? Like if you have a case that you're working on foreign national with, shoot me a call. I'll let you know if we can get them approved or not, very simply. Okay. But I want you guys to be able to know how to do it, especially you leaders who have agents under you, right? I want you to know how to do it, right? It's only more beneficial. So you don't need me. That's kind of the point, guys, is at the end of the day, you won't need me, right? I want to train you on these things. So let me go. All right. Foreign national space. Let me go back to the foreign national section. And what I'm going to do here, gang, is I'm going to actually go where it says foreign national individual taxpayer ID numbers. Okay. Actually, let's try this one. The resident national. Yeah, this is the better one. See where it says resident foreign national and foreign travel underwriting guidelines? Mm-hmm. I'm going to open that up. All right. Now, you are going to see that there are country codes. A country codes, they can apply up to best class. Okay, so if they say, I'm from Anguilla, great. Go ahead and apply up to the best class, or we can build you a policy up to the best class, living benefits, long-term care, great. Even B and C, okay? B and C are good to go. But when you get into D and E, notice that they are a little different, okay? D country codes, guys, are going to be individual consideration. They're actually they can apply. That's why I like to use this document here, because this one does a better job of showing us, right? A, B, C, D, and E country codes. And this document here was just the foreign national ITIN guidelines. So if it's A, it's up to best class, and then here's the code, those countries again. If it's B, it's preferred second, which means if they live in a B country code, which is actually Mexico, they can apply up to the second best class, right? C and D are standard, but check out E. Here's why I ask, how long have you lived here? Because if they say, I'm from Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, okay, well, that's an E country code. Doesn't mean you can't get coverage. How long have you lived here? They've lived here for 5 more years or more, you can apply. See? So that's why I like to know, where are you from and how long have you lived here? All right? So let me go back to the underwriting guide. That's a good example, Ging, of like knowing why and how long they've lived here.
What's the code for, or the letter for Philippines?
Philippines. Let's look.
Because I have teachers, that's H.
Philippines is C.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So they can get up to standard.
All right.
Yeah, standard ratings. That's good. Very cool.
Cool.
Question.
Yeah, what's up,
Just,
yeah.
what if their contract ends and they're under insurance?
What contract?
Their policy. What I mean, their contract of staying here, like let's say J1, 5 years, and then they could get in, they could get the insurance, but they cannot renew or extend.
Once you have a policy, Jasper, your policy's in force until
you die.
Lapses. You're good. You can move to your other country, or you can go back to your home country, and your policy still stays active. Yeah. As long as we're receiving premiums from a U.S. bank account, Jasper, the policy can stay in force.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great question. Now, great question there, because living benefits, you can't apply for living benefits in another country, but long-term care is international.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, if they have to go back to the other country, we have a lot of clients who get a policy and then 5-10 years later, they go retire in their home country. That's totally fine. Totally fine.
So it's only long-term care that you can bring to other countries, not
long-term care. Yep. Not international. Terminal illness as well. Because terminal illness trumps everything, basically, besides the death benefit.
But the critical, no.
Critical and chronic, no. Very good.
Okay. All right.
Good. Yeah, great questions. Pretty simple so far, right? Like, you're just asking the questions, then you're like, okay, I just need to dig a little bit more. So that's how the EAC works, all right? Let me show you the most popular employment authorization card code, which is going to be C08. What do you notice about C08? It's asylum application pending, but notice what this one says. It's eligible under the ITIN program.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So the ITIN program is its own program. It's not the visa program. It's not the employment authorization card program. It's the ITIN program. Okay? Because remember, what's the last question here? If they're not a citizen, if they don't have a green card, if they don't have a visa or EAC, then the next step is, do you have an ITIN? Because if you have an ITIN, there's its own requirements. Check this out. If I go to the underwriting guide, I'm going to show you guys how to get there again. If it ever says, or they have a C08, okay, I know automatically with that employment authorization card, or if they just have an ITIN number, they can apply through the ITIN program, right? So I go to the products tab, foreign national, scroll down, go to foreign national ITIN number guidelines, and here are all the guidelines. Check it out. So this program is designed for persons residing in the U.S. intending to remain here who can't provide a visa or a green card, but they can provide payment of federal taxes via their ITIN number. Okay? If they have an ITIN number, I want to know what country are you from and how long have you been here? They can get our term LB, our term super, our IUL, our financial choice IUL, our whole life. They can apply for juvenile policies, chronic, critical, terminal, ages 18 to 70. Again, juveniles you can apply for, but it's individual consideration. Most of the time for the juveniles, they just want the adult to have a policy.
Mm-hmm.
They can get up to $2 million. Anything over $2 million is individual consideration. All right, and here's all we need, guys. We just need really their ITIN card. We need their social security card or their ITIN card, which is the CP565. It's the CP565 form. If they're here because of that employment authorization card, we just need that card. We need to know that they paid taxes for 2 years. So make sure that they at least have 2 consecutive tax returns. Also, it says 3 years here. As long as they've lived here for 3 years, they're usually pretty good. But I like 5 years because a lot of my agents in my current territory are from those e-country codes. So I like to ask, hey, just to be safe, because I don't want to tell someone, oh, if you've lived here for 3 years, you can apply. And then you find out, guess what? They are from an e-country code, you know? Mikkel asked a question. Can juvenile policies e-sign? Are you talking about the delivery of the policy? Mm-hmm. You cannot e-deliver policies, Mikkel, but you can sign the documents electronically. You still have to mail the policy, if that makes sense. So you can't, that's kind of 2 different things there. Great question. But we can't deliver the policy electronically, but you can sign the documents electronically. You can sign the post-delivery requirements electronically, and then obviously the application gets signed electronically. But we still have to mail out a copy of the policy if it's a juvenile. Did that make sense there? E-signatures and e-delivery are 2 different things still. But great question. Great question. All right. So under the ITIN program, guys, I like to know, hey, what country you're from and how long have you lived here? So then you just find the country code and you look and see what the rate class is going to be, right? Pretty simple. Okay. So really, the training is really just going through these 3 questions and showing you guys those resources. Okay. Like I said, the first few times you do it, if you guys meet someone in the next week and they're a foreign national, just say, hey, you know, how are you here? Do you have a visa? Ask them the 3 questions. Get used to it. Ask them. Mm-hmm. And then if you are struggling going and finding the underwriting guide or whatever, just reach out to me. Shoot me an email. Say, hey, Jesse, I have a client who says they have a C0, C10 code or C14. Send it to me. I'll go in there, look at it. I'll send you those documents so you can find for yourself next time. But it's all just a learning process. Okay. Call the sales desk guys. I don't know if you don't use the sales desk. They're awesome. You know, they get hounded pretty hard, but call the sales desk, right? They're super helpful. I used to work on the sales desk. There's like 12 consultants there now. They're hiring 4 more. Thank goodness. All right. Pretty simple so far, right, guys? So we just talked about the employment authorization cards. Here's what they look like. And again, talking about those codes when you're in the underwriting guide, we talked about the asylum granted. We talked about F visas, right? All we need is this. Okay, students can get up to $1 million in coverage without having a job. That's huge. Additional consideration may be given a professional degree such as law, engineering, medical school, advanced. Okay. All right. These next few slides will be pretty quick because we're just really talking about the high net worth resident foreign nationals. Okay. High net worth resident foreign nationals. I will be honest with you guys. If you guys meet a client who has a B1 or B2 visa, if they are a high net worth client who lives in another country permanently, but they do business here in America, or maybe their kids go to school here, or maybe they own a home here, if they have some connection to the U.S. and they reach out to you and say, hey, you know, can I get an IUL? Can I put money into this product and can I benefit from it? Reach out to me immediately for me to help you build that case, right? Don't feel like you have to do it alone, okay? But non-resident, high net worth foreign nationals, we have an entire program, okay? Not going to go through that. That's a multiple applicant scenario, which like the high net worth resident has a wife or a husband, right? Maybe the high net worth lives here and her husband doesn't. He can also apply through the multi-applicant scenario, okay? But just a few notes. If they don't live here, meaning they're just here visiting, but they're a high net worth, and I'll show you guys what the requirements are here shortly. Some very important notes are this. Everything needs to be done here in the States. So if they're going to be visiting the United States, make sure all the solicitation, make sure the application's done here. They need to sign it here. Any requirements need to be done here in the United States. Do not collect money with the app because they won't be able to get conditional coverage anyway. Okay? As well as premiums have to come from a U.S. financial institute. Here's a good slide to take a picture of, okay? Because this kind of sums up what qualifies that high net worth. They have to live in an eligible country outside the U.S. Currently, it's only A and B country codes, guys. So they have to live in one of those A and B country codes. Okay? So they have to live in an A or B country code. They have to have a global net worth of over $1 million. I'm going to share the document with you guys today so you'll know all of this. They have to have a qualifying profession, right? Technical, professional, business owner, executive in nature, okay? You're going to find out that like a government official from another country can't come here and get an IUL or get life insurance, right? The issue ages are 18 to 75. Again, it's A and B country codes only. They'll need access to an American physician, okay, a physician here in America or licensed in America if we need it, okay, if we need it. Same underwriting rules are the same as like if they were just living here, right? We're not going to make them go through underwriting just because they're a non-resident, okay? They might be able to get non-med. They might not have to go through meds. Now, most of the time, guys, these are really big cases, so they have to go through meds anyway because of how big these cases can get. And then there needs to be some sort of U.S. connection. They need to have some tie here, okay? Is it work? Is it living? Do they go to school here? Or do their kids go to school? Why are they coming to America, right? They can't just come here because they saw that, they're here for vacation. That's not necessarily a tie to the United States. Any questions so far about those high net worth, the B1 or B2 visa holders? Pretty simple, right? They can only get term and IULs. Remember, it's A and B country codes. C country codes we will now allow, but there's $1.50 a month flat extra. So there will be $1.50 added to every $1,000 of coverage. Okay? No living benefits. D code is the Philippines. Yes, Jocelyn. Very good, Joy. Yep. So they can apply. If they're in the Philippines and they're high net worth and they don't live here, they can apply. Good. Again, we talked about those excluded occupations. If they're in the military, they're probably not going to get approved. If they're a government official, right, guys, that gets sticky with that's when crime starts to get involved, right? People washing their money here in the States through insurance, which does happen, guys. It's a real thing, okay? Pretty much the same underwriting as a normal person, except they're a little bit high net worth. So the minimum premium amount has to be $5,000. So the MNLP has to be $5,000, okay? Which means like these are usually higher death benefits anyway, guys, okay? Like I said, the first time you do a high net worth, I will probably be involved. So I will show you the making sure that it's built correctly, where the minimum no lapse is 5,000 minimum, and the face amount's big enough, and we're not going too big. And we'll talk through all of that case, right? I'll probably even meet with the client. I don't know, depending on how big the case is. Okay. This is talking about maximum face amounts for country codes. If they're in the Philippines, so basically, guys, if they're in the Philippines, the most they'll probably be able to get is 7 million, right? We're talking big policies here, right? Talking big policies. But it's regular new business requirements. It's regular underwriting stuff, right? Like I said, everything needs to be done here in the States, okay? And then here's just some guidelines, right? Talking about, the underwriting requirements. Up to $1 million, you're not really seeing many people have to go through underwriting automatically, right? It's the same as normal. Not routinely from 1 to 3. However, we might need an APS. Okay, we might need an APS when they start to get bigger face amounts. Anything over 3 million, guys, and depending on age, they're going to have to go through meds, right? Think about it. You're an insurance company. You're insuring someone's life. You're taking that risk to pay them that money. You want to make sure you have all your T's crossed and I's dotted.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here's some other connections to the U.S., right? Families here. You own a business here. You have a trust here. Any non-liquid assets, any liquid assets, you own a home here. Maybe you come here for travel pattern, if you can prove a travel pattern. And then here are the eligible countries. Okay. These are just A and B, guys. The C's are not on here currently. But pretty simple. And then here's what you will have to show when you do the application, right? This is part of the application here. But you will need the copy of the visa, proof of U.S. entry. We're going to need We're going to need an address to send the policy to here in the States. We'll need to know travel details. You will have to write a cover letter in this scenario showing your connection to the U.S., any business affairs, and talk about your financials, okay? You can use what we call a power of attorney in this scenario. If you need to fill out a power of attorney form to help you with that high net worth because maybe they're not here in the States, but it needs to be signed here in the States, that power of attorney can handle that. But yeah, guys, we're here to help you. We have a large case unit team as well. Can you guys see this? Reach out to me first, guys. Just come to me. Don't worry about having to track these people down. Come straight to me. I will go to this large case team. We will work together on it. But other than that, pretty simple, right? Pretty simple. I'm going to actually show you guys this high net worth guideline. I'm going to put it in the chat box here. It breaks down everything we talked about today, guys. I'll put it in the chat box for you. But all of it's on Agent Central, guys, as you can see. When you go to Agent Home, Agent Home, go to Agent Central, go to the Products tab, Foreign National Space, an entire space. That whole presentation I just did to you guys, the whole presentation I just did for you guys, right there. Just go ahead and click it, download it to your computer, use it. All right, guys, I'm done yelling at you for the last 45 minutes. What's going on? Any questions?
Any questions, guys? Reggie? Jasper?
I'm good next time.
I'm sorry, I couldn't
Wait,
get
so
off
for
mute,
the
but I'm good. I have no questions right now.
Okay,
for
Mikael.
like the upper limits for coverage, is that per policy or is that in total, like for their total coverage?
Per policy. Per
Okay.
policy. Yep. Great question. I guess though it could come down. Yeah, I mean they're usually doing one policy. Like there's no reason to split up these higher net worth ones.
Yeah.
Because it's not like they can't get living benefits anyway. Because we know they're going back to their country. There's no point in them giving living benefits. So yeah, it's usually per policy.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, great question.
So Mikael is also our assistant here, Jesse.
Amazing.
He's my son.
Oh, amazing.
He's also
Well,
licensed.
welcome to the team.
Yeah.
That's so fun. A little family affair.
Yep.
I love that. That is awesome. I just put my email in the chat box, you guys. Make sure you have my email. All right.
Yeah.
Please email me for anything you guys need. Jasper, did you have a question?
So far,
Pretty simple, right? Yeah. So just use these questions, guys. These have helped me really. Like And just finding out, all you're doing is asking questions, guys, right? And you're then becoming the advisor, right? Because what I find most of the time, guys, and whether or not they're foreign nationals or not, is that these people just don't know.
Yeah.
You know, same way you guys didn't know before you got in this industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
The same exact thing. You know, we're walking around and I'm wondering if any of my neighbors even know what I do exists.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. So it's all about just asking them, right? And knowing that the right questions to ask. Okay. And then from there, it's like, hey, can I help this person or not? Right? Depending on their situation, can I help this person or not? Right?
Yep. All right. Well, thank you so much, Jesse, for your time.
You're welcome.
Training us. We will definitely be in touch for more trainings for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, gang, I like to say if I'm not traveling, if you just give me 3 to 5 business days, I can usually book a training.
Cool.
Right? So like if you wanted to meet next week, just let me know today and I'll be able to book you without an issue, right? At any times, right? And I'll let you know, right, if there are times when I can't or not. But
do you have a list of your trainings?
do I have a list of my trainings?
Yeah.
I do have a list of trainings. You want me to email them to you?
Yes, if
Awesome.
you could, that would be awesome.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, let me do that. I'm actually glad you asked that.
Yeah, so we can I'll ask the team
Yeah.
which topics they wanna, do again.
Cool.
Yeah, choose.
Yeah, I have a list of trainings, but you'll kind of see that it can pretty much be anything. And if you guys ask me anything, I can come up with a training of some sort.
Okay,
All right. So anything you guys need, just let me know.
cool.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Very nice to meet you. God bless you. I will see you guys more, and I will see you
Yes.
soon. I'm excited to work with you.
All right, thank you.
All right, everyone.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.